18, and there you see that tire has gone down on the 27 car. Let's take a look at exactly what happened right in front of the leader, Chandler Smith.
77 of Groff there, but that's the race leader, the 20 of Chandler Smith. They're on the gas pedal. It's matted to the floor off of turn number 4. Braden to the inside. Everybody got through this. One more look. That's how close it was for the leaders, Smith and Smith, to get through there.
Wow, that was a close call.
Prater in the number 9. Off of turn 4. The smoke's already going because that's tire smoke. He locked it down coming off the corner. Top break for Thomas Prater out of Mobile, Alabama. Top 10 in the points. We got a caution, Bob.
Caution will come out on the racetrack once again. Matt Dooley. Excuse me, they had a driver change in that one. It's actually Dick Donahue in that number 10 machine this weekend for Andy Hillenberg Racing. They changed drivers yesterday, and he hit the wall hard. Take a look at what happened. He's able to pull away, which is certainly a good sign. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened here to the 10 car.
Yeah, Dick's been in and out of the pits. Looks like it happened at the apron of turn 1, the way the tire marks go up to the wall. Boy, it's a telling sign here at Salem. It's easy to lose the handle, especially going into turn 1.
Jim, let's take a look.
Just the second caution started with Travis Braden to the inside and the number 27 underneath Natalie Decker. They made contact entering turn 3, a high-speed corner, and look at the weaving and bobbing going on.
Look at the contact right there. It looks like maybe Travis Braden getting into the left rear quarter panel of Natalie Decker. But watch Joe Graff in the number 77. Just threads the needle right there. Another great view by all of our cameramen and women here today. Take a look at that. Jack Dossey, the third, by the way, in the 99. His first start here in this series with some damage to the front end of the 99. There's Natalie Decker with some left rear quarter panel damage on that N29 car.
And the transportation impact Ford went around in turns 1 and 2, Bob. Looks to be a solo car effort. Solo car spin again. We mentioned he spun to avoid earlier of the second accident, as we're now under our third caution of the day. But he unfortunately lost it in turn 2. And this young man's on a learning curve. He has not been to Salem Speedway. He said the car was continually tight no matter what they did to change that car. So he's learning the hard way here at Salem Speedway. It's not an easy track to figure out.
How did he put it to you?
Tight.
Yeah. Thad Moffitt, the grandson of the King, Richard Petty, the 7-time Cup Series champion. So he was actually involved just happenstance-wise in that incident between Natalie Decker and Travis Braden a little while ago. Actually looped it in turns 3 and 4. So the second incident of the day for Thad Moffitt. And there you see him already spinning down there, coming off of turn 1, heading into turn number 2. Like you said, Jim, that's a tricky part of this racetrack with so many bumps. And if your car is not handling perfectly, it will get all cattywampus on you in a hurry.
To turn 1, this is Smith's best chance. Now he goes to the outside the wall.
Chandler Smith hard into the wall. Trouble for the 15-year-old battling for the win here at Salem today. Christian Eckes. For the second consecutive race, we'll have a first-time race winner here in the ARCA Racing Series. Eckes from New York takes the win.
Crew chief, car owner, they're thrilled. We're going to victory lane.
Chandler Smith with a hard lick into the wall has climbed out of his number 20 race car and being helped across the racetrack by ARCA Racing Series officials. And there he goes.
It was not a decision by the driver.
Something broke in the right front of that race car. We thought initially he maybe tried to go to the top side of the racetrack, but something happened in the right front on that Venturini Motorsports car, and because of that, Chandler Smith hard into the wall. Major impact here at Salem Speedway.
You know, Kevin, we watched trouble. Brandon Grosso and Bobby Gerhart were involved. That's Grosso in the 52. Bobby Gerhart was on the inside of him. He was in the 5 car.
Grosso was one of those 6 teenagers, 18 years old, from New Jersey. And does Tommy Prater also have damage? He does.
Tough break. Thomas Prater had such a good run going in Daytona, battling up in the top 2 or 3 positions. Get relegated back to a 14th place finish, but that was his best race by far. But you see, look how high the front end of the 5 of Bobby Gerhart is. All the damage on Tommy Prater's number 9 right there.
That's a shame for Gerhart because he looked like he was a legitimate contender. It's been a few years since he won a race, but he's won 9 in his career, and he's been quick throughout the day today.
Yeah, it looks like that damage came from maybe coming down off the bank onto the apron. Push the front end up. Let's see if we can see what happens here. There's a 9 of Prater around. There's Grosso, the 52. There's Bobby Gerhart. He's going to turn hard left to avoid Grosso. You see the damage right there. It pushes his front end up when he got down on the apron.
So simply collected after 2 others got involved. So we're under our first caution. 12 of the 76 are complete. There's the damage for last year's championship team.
At the outset, because they missed some practice time because of a wiring issue. So this is really proving they made the right call to get this car ready to go.
Problems for Natalie Decker, and we're under caution for the second time. Let's see what happened to the 25 from Venturini.
She's on the inside, makes some contact with the 77 of Joe Graff Jr.
Oh.
Makes pretty significant contact with the outside safer barrier. Looks like they were fighting for space on the inside, Kevin.
They're back running in the 13th, 14th, 15th position. It's pretty hard right side hits for Natalie Decker in the N29 Capital Partners Yamaha Power Products Toyota. The 15 is Michael Self. He drops down, gets down there smoothly.
See,
They're crashing in the back, and it's Brett Holmes, who was trying to get to pit lane possibly, goes around, and there's the caution.
Yeah, the 0-2 of Andy Seiss and the 23 of Brett Holmes, both were trying to get the left pit road. But Kevin, there's all sorts of room down there. You don't have to be right next to the racetrack. This didn't have to happen.
So Brett Holmes needed to caution, but unfortunately, he is the caution. Let's watch what happened first to Brett Holmes. Watch for the red car in the back. Oh, and somebody wiggled right in front of him.
Well, that's the 0-2 of Andy Seiss who's coming to pit road. He's on the brakes. You saw Michael Self definitely went by the commitment line on pit road. He had the option, though, of just riding down pit road at pit road speed and rejoining the racetrack if he wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, it was Seiss in that same situation, too. Needed to pit.
But there's so much room down there. Kevin, there are 60 feet
Go to the left
of those cars. Do like Michael Self, he moved way over when he came off of turn 4.
So unfortunate. What a good day going to waste for the Alabama native.
Ooh, caution.
So we got a caution again.
That's certainly going to help the teams that pitted on lap number 20.
Is that Andy Seiss?
Looks like Andy Seiss, the 0-2, has made some contact with the outside safer barrier.
So those that did not come in, this works to their benefit.
Without a doubt. Yeah, more caution laps helps, especially if the driver can shut the engine off and conserve fuel during these caution laps.
So they'll try to save now so they can race when we get back to green.
Drafted his way to this position. That water gauge is now an issue and a concern for the driver in the 15.
And around goes Leilani Munter. Caution with 6 to go.
Leilani was still even with that damage. That veganstrong.com Toyota was still up in this lead draft.
But she already had a lot of damage, so I'm sure that car was a handful. And that likely will end it for Munter.
I would not be surprised if there was some contact. There's been a whole bunch of pushing and shoving ever since our last restart.
5th, then Sean Corr and Michael Self. Let's watch again. There's Munter from the bottom line going around, and fortunately didn't take anyone else.
Yeah, quite possibly got a little bit of a bump from behind. Right along with it right here. She's going to have to back off, and when she did, she probably got bumped from behind. She ran up on the back bumper of Bola Mastis and had to back off a little bit.
So another pretty solid race for Leilani Munter is unfortunately going to end early. 4 in the mix right now. Creed trying to hold off Perkins.
Oh, trouble!
Now they'll crash hard. The big one at Talladega is on the final lap. Will we stay green or go white? It's green for the moment. Creed, Perkins, and we do go to caution. The 28 crew waiting and hoping that he got to the line before the caution came out, but this was a big one, and the safety personnel needs to be dispatched.
Good to see that winning that down on Chase Purdy's car. Look at all the damage to that 8 car as you see him climb out. That's Bola Mastis, the 54, nosed into the side of the 8 of Chase Purdy. Hard hits there.
That is a destroyed race car that will bring out the red flag. So we had 2 incidents on the white flag lap as we see Dave Mader rolling down pit lane with some damage. And as you accurately called it, Phil, that first one was not going to be a factor. So that was going to allow them to finish. But the second, now that's an unofficial order, so we'll set that in a moment. But here is what happened to Doza going around first with Joe Graff Jr. behind him.
Yeah, they were just tight racing there. I told there was nobody giving any room there. Just a slight contact to the back of Doza, and around he went. There's another view of it right there. You see the gap between the 6 of Josh Williams and the 57. He probably got out of the throttle. He saw Leilani Munter down on the bottom of the racetrack. Joe got into him just a little bit.
Now here's the heavier hit that brought out the caution. Look at that 3.
There's that 3 wide racing with no room at all.
So Robaugh took pretty big damage there too. Lemastus is in the 54 Crosley for David Gilliland Racing, and then the Bama Buggies number 8 for Chase Purdy. Let's see who else might have been impacted. Gus Dean right in the middle. Maybe he took a little bit of contact.
It's like Josh Williams got by. He was on the very bottom of the racetrack.
So unfortunately, as is usually the case at a plate track, a lot of destroyed race cars. Looking 3 wide down the backstretch. Smith, and then Herbst goes around. Big contact, taking Josh Williams with him. Caution. Overtime number 2 is coming.
Look at the damage on Sean Corr's car. That's 2 races in a row to get to the last lap with that 46 car and ended up wadded up.
Zane Smith is the leader. And at the moment, the number 77, Joe Graff Jr., the 19-year-old from New Jersey, is second. Creed is third. What a start for Zane Smith. And Michael Self is still there in the mix. So that helped his cause because, as you said, top line, with a car running out of fuel, the top line didn't have any hope. He got down best he can, and they get one more chance at it from row number 2. Herbst had heavy contact. Let's watch again.
See, Herbst moves to the inside of Sheldon Creed. Here comes Joe Graff. Looks like there was contact between the 28 of Creed and the 18 of Herbst, and it turned Herbst right into the path of Sean Corr in the 46.
So Creed didn't get going very well.
There goes Riley Herbst down the inside. Creed pulls over to try to block. Looks like Creed caught Riley Herbst in the right rear corner, and it turned him dead right.
So Creed looked like he didn't have anyone directly pushing him as Herbst tried to go to the bottom side and Corr was on his high side. Yeah, just caught his right rear. So the frustration continues for Riley Herbst. Heavy damage.
Sean Corr able to make it to the ambulance on under his own power.